Welcome to This Love Works, the podcast that is raising the bar for exceptional relationships. Join psychotherapist Marianne Marlowe as she talks with couples who've mastered the art of healthy, passionate relationships. They explore what makes their real love work and dig into topics featuring cutting-edge research and relationship science. Let's listen in.
This is Marianne of This Love Works, and today I want to talk a little bit about the idea of a marriage tune-up and coming to a counselor or having some kind of intentional program that you use with your partner or your spouse in order to check in and make sure that your relationship is healthy. I usually recommend when a couple graduates from doing individual work or group work with me that they do a maybe once a year, once a quarter, or depending on what their issue is, check in with me just to make sure that they are remaining in alignment. So one of the things that I want to talk about is, remember when you were pursuing your partner? Remember how intentional you were about letting your partner know that you cared about them and that you were interested in them, that you knew what sorts of things they were interested in, and how you showed that to your partner. Well, we get a little bit lazy over time with familiarity, and we literally sometimes have to inject novelty into our relationship in order to keep it fresh, right? We have to have both novelty and familiarity. I've done another podcast on that. You can take a listen to that. But having both novelty and familiarity in your relationship is very smart. And novelty is about keeping things fresh, exciting. It activates the part of your brain that pays attention and wants to stay connected to your partner. And familiarity brings comfort and security to the relationship. Now, depending on the kind of relationship you have different levels of need for familiarity and novelty. But remember that when you've been in a relationship for quite a while, or when it starts to lose that freshness outside of the honeymoon phase, we have to be more intentional about bringing novelty back into the relationship to let your partner know that you are interested in them, that you want them. That is a very important need for couples, is to be seen, heard, understood, and wanted. We forget that our partners need to know that we want them. So developing some intentionality around creating the interest for your partner is very, very important. I oftentimes will suggest that you choose some kind of an anniversary date, whether it's an anniversary of maybe your first date or a ceremonial anniversary, perhaps your marriage or some other kind of ceremony. Or maybe it's one of your birthdays or some other particular anniversary that's easy for both of you to remember. And use that time for a check-in with each other. Whether you do that with a therapist or whether you do that with yourselves, it's very, very important to create intentionality about it. And you want to pay attention to the dimensions of your life that are important to you. You want to pay attention to your family, your children, where you spend your time. Are you working? Are you both in alignment around work? Are you both in alignment around family or parenting or animals, right? If you are parents to your fur babies, it's important to ensure that you are in alignment with money, with where you spend your extra time, with your free time. Are you in alignment with your friends? Are you in alignment with your hobbies, right? Doesn't mean that you have to have the same hobbies or same friends or same interests, but how do you stay in alignment with your free time if you are not, right, sharing those same interests? It's sometimes quite healthy for a relationship to have different interests and different time away from the relationship, as long as you're coming back to the relationship and sharing the important things to you about what the free time means to you. and being able to check in on a regular basis and ensuring that your relationship is still well aligned and that each of you is getting what you need. So remember, when you take care of the couple bubble, as Stan Tatkin calls it, or the couple bond, when you pay attention to that, that will actually support you both, bring you both comfort, and allow each of you to feel as though you can continue to develop and grow as human beings. So I want to bring it back to kind of this corporate idea. You would never in a corporation or a business go more than a year without checking in to be sure that you are meeting your goals. In fact, most good businesses focus on quarterly goals to ensure that you are meeting your overall overarching goals. There are many mechanisms that companies use to ensure that, but we want to bring the same kind of intentionality into your relationship. What I'm not saying is to create business goals for your relationship, although that really does work quite well for some couples, but creating some intention around checking in to make sure that you are well aligned. You can do that with a therapist, or you can do that on your own, but I highly recommend that you do it in order to make your love work. This is Marianne of This Love Works. See you soon.